Welcome to Richmond, the crown jewel of South London. It's got gorgeous parks and out-of-this-world pubs, and I'm going to take you to both.
Richmond is known for being a high-end community with some of the best outdoor spaces in the city, great food, and South London's best pubs.
I can't wait to hit those pubs, but it's such a nice day. We're going to start at the park, so it's off to Kew Gardens. There are two major green spaces to explore here, Kew Gardens and Richmond Park.
We'll hit Kew Gardens first.
Kew Gardens was founded in 1840. It's a World Heritage Site and one of London's favorite attractions. There's an admission fee of about £20, but there's so much to see and do here, and on a day like today, it's just gorgeous.
Kew features 8 plant houses, including the Palm House, the stunning Princess of Wales Conservatory, and the Temperate House, the world's largest surviving Victorian glass structure. Also, you can't miss the Great Pagoda, which rises from the southeast corner of the park. It was built in 1761 by Sir William Chambers, the garden's founder.
The observation deck was reopened in 2018 after a couple of years of repairs, and I hear the view is stunning. However, I am not going up 253 stairs to see it.
And Kew Gardens isn't just for spring and summer. Christmas at Kew Gardens is one of London's most popular holiday destinations. From mid-November to early January, Kew becomes a wonderland of holiday lights, music, and food. If you can handle the crowds on a 5-kilometer walk, it's a delightful and memorable time.
Now let's head down Richmond Hill, where there is a lot to see on the way to Richmond Park.
This is the Terrace Gardens, home of a slightly abstracted statue of Aphrodite.
I guess the locals don't see Aphrodite's classic beauty in this statue because they've named it Bulbous Betty. This whole area features beautiful gardens and paths, which is a perfect place to stop and have a leisurely little stroll on your way to Richmond Park. And while you're on Richmond Hill, you might as well stop at Richmond's most eye-popping pub.
The Roebuck is a Richmond Hill pub right across the street from the viewing area. It's a great little Victorian pub with really friendly service, but what everybody loves this place for is the view. Large picture windows on both floors give you a spectacular view of the Thames Valley. So Jennifer pulled a beer for me? Look at this view. That was a nice little break, but on to Richmond Park, the largest of London's royal parks at 2,360 acres. This is a national wildlife conservation area with some special attractions like Poets' Corner, a serene hidden garden with benches, and King Henry's Mound with its panoramic view of the Thames Valley. There's also the White Lodge, the former home of King Edward VIII and King George VI when he was still the Duke of York. Now it's the Royal Ballet School. But Richmond Park's big attraction is the critters.
Well, Richmond Park promised me deer, and they delivered.
Herds of deer roam freely through the park, and they attract a huge crowd. They're quite docile, but keep in mind that they're wild animals if you go to visit. Don't get too close. I'm getting a little peckish. It's time to head back into town.
All right, enough bike riding and deer spotting. It's time to go hit the pubs. I could do a whole video dedicated just to Richmond's pubs, but I'll try to show you the very best. So Richmond is clearly a place for outdoor enthusiasts, and the Marlborough pub really celebrates that.
The Marlborough is highly regarded by locals because it has one of the largest beer gardens in London. This pet-friendly pub has gazebos and a garden room so you can enjoy al fresco dining and drinks in any weather.
It's a good thing for the gazebos, because it started to rain.
And the food is top-notch with classic British dishes and tasty small plates. I'm sure you'll love visiting the Marlborough as much as I did. Here's an interesting stop as we make our way to the next pub. This is the Wick, an 8,500 square foot home with 6 bedrooms.
Ronnie Wood of the Stones calls this the best house in the world. I tend to agree, as would its current owner, Pete Townshend of The Who.
He's far from the only celebrity who made a home in Richmond. Tom Holland, Angelina Jolie, David Attenborough, and Mick Jagger, to name a few.
In this mansion, owned by Tom Hardy. With so many famous people milling about Richmond, you think it'd be easy to spot a celebrity at one of these great pubs, like the Mitre, which is commonly voted one of Richmond's best pubs.
This classic neighborhood pub has a private garden full of friendly locals and a highly rated selection of beer. Their specialty is real ales using only independent breweries around the UK. And they also have Rudy, who is voted Britain's cutest pub dog. Come by, I'm sure you'll enjoy a pint here. Rugby is huge down here with the National Rugby Stadium right across the Thames in Twickenham.
There is no better place to watch some egg chasing than the Sun Inn.
The Sun Inn is considered to be the best sports bar by far in Richmond. The decor is made up of hundreds of pictures, trophies, and sports memorabilia. And at just £8, the Sundowner is the perfect plate of food to accompany your pint. I can't say I'm a big rugby fan, but you don't have to be to enjoy the Sun Inn. When you're done, head over across from Richmond Station to see a piece of London rock history.
This is 1 Kew Road. This is the site of the former Station Hotel and the legendary Crawdaddy Club.
This was a famous London music venue that hosted the Stones, the Yardbirds, and Rod Stewart in their heyday. Even though the original venue is long gone, to keep history alive, the Richmond Athletic Grounds uses its function space to host music events under the Crawdaddy Club name.
So I'm here with Richard at the Richmond Athletic Club. Richard, why is this place so special?
Well, interesting. The Crawdaddy Club, just over in this corner over here, moved here in the mid to early 1960s. And Rolling Stones played here, The Who have played here, lots of other great bands from the 60s played here. And actually, one other thing to know is that the Reading Festival, when it was a jazz festival, started here before it moved out to Reading when it needed more room.
Wow, fantastic. So we're standing where the Stones played.
Standing where the Stones played.
So we're 8 minutes in and you must be wondering, where's the Ted Lasso pub? Well, of course we're going to visit the Prince's Head. And here we are. And even if you never heard of or watched Ted Lasso, this is a really great pub to visit. It's gorgeous on the outside and the inside. Classic Victorian pub.
Hey Ellie, what's your favorite football team?
Richmond Greyhounds.
Nice.
Aside from a couple scarves, they actually don't play up the Ted Lasso connection too much. But the neighboring businesses sure embrace it, including a Ted Lasso souvenir store. On a nice day, grab a seat outside, enjoy a pint, and take in Richmond's community vibe.
And your day in Richmond's not complete without a stroll down the riverside.
Grassy parks overlooking the river are the perfect place to people watch. Or you can enjoy a cocktail in one of the many riverside cafes. Or try one of the great restaurants nearby, like Noci. Look at that pasta.
So if you're near the riverside and you're craving Italian, I strongly recommend this place.
There's also plenty of shops, plus the duck pond market by the river. I think I have one more in me before we leave Richmond.
So whether you're an outdoor enthusiast, a foodie, or you just like to visit fine pubs, then Richmond is for you. And if you've seen my Hampstead video, you'd think that Hampstead must be the Richmond of the North. Or is Richmond the Hampstead of the South? Either way, thank you for watching. And if you'll like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment, I read every single one of them and I appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you. Cheers.